It's not often I'll do a video kind of like this, but Poseidon Entertainment, fantastic channel, recently did a video about why do people hate the Magic Kingdom. And, he laid out a really nice way of, here are some of the things that Magic Kingdom does better than Disneyland. He hasn't been to all of the castle parks, and all the other ones, Tokyo, Paris, Hong Kong, Shanghai, they all do things very well that we don't really see at Magic Kingdom. So I'm going to focus this primarily off of a few things that he brought up, and my thoughts as to why people kind of dunk on Magic Kingdom. First one, easiest one right off the bat. Lots of people currently don't like Disney, and Magic Kingdom is, pretty much the biggest park on the planet. So it's pretty easy to be like, oh, it doesn't have the same, as many people are visitors in the past. Disney sucks. Put a chicken that make her lame. It's easy to dunk on Disney. Get that. But some of the main reasons why people don't like Magic Kingdom. Now, I'll say I've been to Magic Kingdom twice. Once just past COVID and once over Christmas. And I went to Disneyland last year around the Halloween time. So first things first. Magic Kingdom is one of the most visited parks on the planet. So there's always a lot of people there. They also struggle with capacity. They don't have a ton of rides. So if you go on Seven Dwarf Mine Train, nice roller coaster, nothing, there's no, drops, it's not, chain launched or anything, there's no LSMs. It's a nice ride if you're in line for 45 minutes. 45 minutes, you get on the ride, you're like, yeah, it was a fun ride, nice flow to it, smooth, the minecart swing back and forth, animatronics toward the end were good, it was a nice ride. Same ride, 60 minutes. You're like, it was fine. Most days, it's an hour to an hour and a half. Hour and a half for that same ride? You're off the ride, how was the ride? Man, it sucked. I spent an hour and a half, which, and like $150 a park ticket, yeah, the place is open for a long period of time, but if you spend, an hour and a half in that line, and you're like, okay, well, that was $20 to go on that ride. Now, if it's under an hour, 40 minutes, you had a great time. And everything gets a big line. And, 30-minute wait for a ride, you're going to enjoy it. 45-minute wait for a ride, you might not enjoy it. So definitely you have issues with, there's a lot of people, not a lot of places to put those people. Yes, they do have a lot of shows and stuff. I will say, if you didn't do the comparison between Magic Kingdom and Disneyland, like, I thought Disneyland was amazing. That's probably a combination of Disneyland is like Magic Kingdom with half of Hollywood Studios added to it. There's just a lot to do in the park. It's also a lot smaller, which is weird that you have a smaller park with more rides, so it normally feels less crowded. But it's a smaller park, and there's also less people that go there. So you have less people showing up. You also have higher capacity. So, of course, if you're comparing those two things, I'd rather go to a park where there's not as many people and there's more things to do, because they have shorter lines. Of course. Magic Kingdom also doesn't really do festivals. So if you look at Disneyland, of course, based in California, has much more of a local crowd. They'll do lots of different festivals. And right now I think they're doing like Season of the Force. So they'll do different things geared towards a few months here, a few months there. Where Disney World is very much, no. Disney World is functioning the same. If you go there in January, it's Christmas stuff. If you go there in February, it's the same as it is if you go there in March, April, May. It's only different from like October in through February. Beyond that, the park is the same. Disneyland, not as much. Disneyland, you're going to see things change, things evolve, things get different. So that almost gives Disneyland a pseudo Epcot vibe to it. Why do people go to Epcot? Well, if you like the rides, there's things to do. There's always festivals, and there's always places to go eat and to do other different random things. Like, if you're like, I don't care about Frozen. I don't care about Ratatouille. Okay. Would you like a crepe? Well, yes, of course. Well, yeah, there's other things to do. So now all of a sudden Disneyland has pseudo Epcot vibes to it, pseudo Hollywood Studio vibes to it, and it's also a better version of the Magic Kingdom for the most part. And it's like those sort of things just kind of make sense. If you go to a place that's one, very expensive, two, very busy, three, poor capacity, you're going to be in lines a lot. No one wants to be in lines a lot. They also have some really nice restaurants that are really hard to get into, that are very expensive, that are decent. You know, Be Our Guest restaurant, you know, pretty nice food. It's a pain to get a reservation, and it's expensive. Cinderella's Royal Table, same thing. Food, pretty good, stupid expensive, hard to get a reservation. Okay, it's like those are your two biggest heavy hitters. Skipper Canteen, amazing restaurant, not hard to get a reservation at, and themed for Jungle Cruise, fantastic. But now if you looked at now again compared to Disneyland, well, also you got Blue Bayou, you got Tiana's, you know, you've got a few more places where it's like, well, there's more places to eat. The food's actually really good at Disneyland compared to Magic Kingdom for the most part. And it's like, so I think it's those comparison moments. So one park, super busy, poor capacity. Other park, not always super busy, lots of rides, decent capacity. A few really good restaurants that are hard to get into and the food's pretty good. Lots of restaurants where the food's pretty good, and sometimes even better. There's more that point of comparison. So people just want to dunk on Disney. And of course, if you're trying to compare Magic Kingdom to Disneyland, Disneyland just, you know, smaller crowd size, better capacity, better food options. And also, you're not waiting in line. You have better food options, and you know it's an easier park to get around to. You know, for Magic Kingdom, it's like, oh man, I got to park here, and then take the monorail or a boat or something to go from the parking lot to the transportation ticket center to then get into the park. Where Disneyland, it's like, okay, you know, I can park here, take a bus, or I can just walk the half mile, and then I'm there. So there's just a few small things here and there that, of course, you know, everyone loves to dunk on Disney, which is really easy to do. Now, I will say, I love Poseidon Entertainment. I think he does a fantastic job. If you are someone who enjoys theme parks and stuff, definitely someone to watch. You know, it's like him, Defunct Land, and a few other people do fantastic work when it comes to these things. So, not throwing shade, just kind of saying, you know, he laid out a pretty good case as to why Magic Kingdom isn't a bad park. But if you're comparing it to Disneyland, it's not as good overall. Again, just my opinion.